Hi, my name is Allie, and I'm the STEM Program Manager for Girl Scouts of New Mexico Trails. Today, I'm going to help you earn the first step to your Junior Entertainment Technology badge by showing you how to animate your own artwork. There are lots of ways to do animation, so today we're going to do an offline animation activity and an online animation activity. But first, let's talk about what animation is. To simply put it, animation is taking an object or a character and giving it motion. This can be done in many different ways. A very famous type of animation is called stop motion animation. This can be found in films like The Little Prince or Wallace and Gromit. Another very famous type of animation is computer animation, and this can be found in films like Moana and Coco. But today we're going to learn about 2D animation. And there's actually two different kinds of 2D animation. There's traditional 2D animation and digital 2D animation. But before we dive into the differences between traditional and digital, let's talk about what 2D actually means. 2D stands for two-dimensional. This is when the characters and the objects that you see on the screen are drawn to be flat with no depth. Traditional 2D animation is when an artist hand draws an object or character page by page on paper. These pages are called frames. When all of the frames are flipped through one after another very quickly, it gives the illusion of animation. This is how we're able to make our characters and objects move. The amount of pages or frames that you have in 1 second is called frames per second. If it takes 32 frames per second to make a smooth animation, how many frames do you think it takes to make a 2D traditional film like Snow White or Beauty and the Beast? So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is show you how to do an offline activity to learn about traditional animation and an online activity to learn about digital animation. Next, we're going to create a 2D traditional animation by making a flipbook. The supplies that you'll need are a notebook, and some markers. Now, if you don't have a notebook, you can also make your own flipbook by using scissors, a stapler, and a few sheets of paper. So the first thing I did was cut these sheets of paper in half. Next, I lined them up and cut them in half again. I went ahead and lined them up nice and even again. And then I stapled the uneven side. And now I have a little flip book. So you can use a notebook or you can make your own flip book. So next I'm going to create an animation where I have a ball on one end and then it slowly moves across the page this way and then slowly moves back. And when you flip it, you'll be able to see it moving one way and then moving back the other way. Or if I was to hold it like this, it might look like the ball was bouncing up and down. So I'm going to start with the very last page because when I flip my book, the last page is the first one you see, followed by each frame after that. So I want to start in the back. Now, let's see what happens when I flip. So it looks like the ball's moving forward, and then it's moving backwards. Now that you've learned how to do 2D traditional animation, let's talk about what it takes to do 2D digital animation. And what are the differences? Really, 2D digital animation is very similar to 2D traditional animation. We're still going to be creating frames and we're still going to be animating our frames. But instead of hand drawing these frames, we're going to use a computer support. Today, I'm using the website pixelart.com to show you how to animate your own digital GIF. Once you've gone to pixelart.com, you can go to Start Drawing. In your drawing space, there are several different tools that you can use. There's a pencil tool, an erase tool, a brush tool, a line tool, a square tool, a circle tool, and many more. Today, I'm going to start with the stamp tool. I'm going to select the stamp heart. Now that I've selected a heart in my stamp tool, I'm going to use the copy frame tool to repeat this frame until I have 16 heart frames. Once I have all 16 of the heart frames, I'm going to be able to toggle through them to select the frame I want to edit. You can tell which frame you are working on by the blue square in the corner of the frame. Next, I'm going to use the paint bucket tool to change the color inside the heart. I will repeat this until I have changed the color on all 16 hearts in all 16 frames. Once I have made edits to each of my frames, I can preview the changes. Now that I'm happy with the colors I've added to each frame, I can add motion to my frames. I will slightly move the heart on each frame the same way I did with my flip book. Once I'm happy with the colors and the motion of my animation, I can actually change the speed. You can change the speed to 5 seconds, 2.5 seconds, 1 second, half a second, or less. Once I've made all of my final changes, I can download my animation as a GIF.